call it a performance prevention assessment. Basically, someone comes in for basketball, football, soccer, any change of direction sport. And if you think of that either vertical change of direction or lateral or cutting type of sport, that's the sport that would work. So first, we ask, are you here for prevention or are you here for current injury? Sometimes it's both. I've had chronic knee pain, I've had chronic ankle pain, chronic low back pain, or I just feel like I can't ever get moving as fast as I want to. Or coach tells me I need to stay low, or I'm getting yelled at all the time, or I'm not making varsity. You know, those are the things that we really want to help them with. First thing I see when people walk into our testing lab is they go, oh, this is something different. It's all their room. It's me, them, and one of our interns that helps run the technology. We'll do a warm-up that goes through movements of the test without actually telling them that we're going through the movements of the test. So when we get to the test, they have already got a little bit of a neurological patterning to do those the way that they do them. So as they're running through, they're going to actually come in contact with a force plate. It actually shows the direction and the magnitude of the force that they're doing. Now, that matters because it shows an actual line of where the force is going through their body. If the force is going on the outside of their knee, that means their knee is going to want to buckle in. And that's one of the actual indicators of an ACL tear. If their trunk is swaying really far one way and the force is leaning them over to the other side, that can also encourage an ankle sprain. There's pretty much two things that can happen to people when they have bad mechanics. They either slow themselves down and work within a range that makes them feel like they're comfortable, or they're pushed beyond those limits and they injure themselves. The high-speed cameras allow us to look at that movement at 120 frames a second. Now that may not seem as fast as what some people think when they look at an iPhone, but it runs at a higher definition, an ability to slow it down frame by frame. It's powerful for an athlete to look at the way they do a movement they do every single day, thousands of times throughout a season. And when I change direction, you can see my knee go in, my hip move over, or at times they move really well, and we just encourage that movement pattern to stay. So when we get done with our assessment, their head's spinning. So we walk into the performance area, and the neat thing about our performance area is we have pretty much every surface that you're going to compete on. Basketball court, turf we can use cleats on, running track that we can actually use spikes on as well, and a throwing area. So what we're able to do is put you in that environment and watch you do that actual activity. It's that point that I show them, okay, in the strength and flexibility assessment, these are the muscles that are not working on you. Let's utilize our EMG. Let's show you those muscles working, so when you leave here, you know how to use them correctly. And then incorporate that into a sport-specific movement that you can practice every day. They're going to leave with a booklet of exercises. They can take videos of those same exercises and watch themselves doing them as well. I don't want them to have to think about this. I want them to actually just become automatic when they move. So we have to try to teach them some drills offline that makes it automatic on the court. If you come in for just the assessment, it's still a great eye-opening experience, but we encourage you to come back in a couple weeks to really reevaluate what we just looked at. And if what you're doing, you're getting the maximum benefit out of it. If you're not getting the most out of it, maybe doing the exercise, but you're not feeling it in the right spot, or maybe it's not activating the right muscle group, you're not gonna get the total benefit out of it. So let's bring you back in, let's actually see you move again, and then say, you know what, you've been doing this really well. We're gonna now give you the next level of exercise and advance you. The wrong thing to do is go too hard, too fast, with too high level an exercise, because you're gonna create another compensation pattern that's gonna create another issue down the road. So let's progress you appropriately through your care. So when an athlete comes back, I'll ask, how are you doing? And they're like, well, I can do that exercise. I'm like, well, that's great, but how are you feeling? And I'll hear things from, I can get a lot more velocity on my soccer ball, or actually I've been more consistent on my shot, or man, that game last night, I just tore my opponent up. It was fantastic. I hear parents all the time like, they're a different person. They're a different person. They're more confident. They're feeling better. Or as a team, I've heard coaches go, there's so many less injuries on my team that I don't know how I'm gonna get everyone in the game. So there's a lot of good benefit from that.